Hello, my friends, and welcome back to 1111 Outdoors. We're doing another subscriber video today. They requested that I take a look at this knife, and this is the Odenwolf W-Mini. It is a nice little compact knife that I consider extremely valuable. I use a knife similar to this, and I have for years. It's called the Eldris by Mora knife, and I pair it with the Garberg. I carry my Garberg and my Eldris all the time. I think that they are an outstanding pair. This knife has a big brother as well, whereas the Eldris has the Garberg. The W-Mini has the Wolf 2, made by Odenwolf as well. There will be a review on this soon. I'm still testing it. So far, I'm really, really liking it. We'll see how well she does, and I will get back to you on that. But this is where the inspiration for this knife came from, or vice versa. I'm not sure which came first, chicken or the egg. But you can tell that the influence here is definitely in the blade. They both have this harpoon shape. And when I was using this knife earlier, something really, really stood out to me. I realized I do a lot of work right here. You know, there's some business I do up here, and when you baton, you need the full length and all that business. But a lot of the chores you do require this part of the blade right here. And when you're getting up close and personal with things, usually you're down close to the handle. That means the first 2 to 3 inches are utilized very, very often. So it makes sense to have a knife this size. There's no sense to have that much blade length if you're working that close to the handle. So that was kind of an eye-opener when I was thinking about this knife when I was working with that knife. It made me think, yeah, a lot of the tasks that we perform are very close to the handle. And that's where this thing shines. You can get really tight in there and you can really work some feather sticks or doing some notching for whatever reason. This knife is really handy in that application. And you'll see I put a piece of paracord on here. I was working down by the creek, and it is extremely high grass and it is still green, so I had this on there. I totally advise, if you are carrying something this natural color into the wild, to put something like that on your handle so you don't lose it. I did put it down a couple of times, and this helped me find it very easily. But if it was just this, I may have misplaced it. So having a lanyard or something just to kind of signal you to where it is not a bad idea. It's a good way to lose a knife. Now, a lot of people don't like lanyards, and I don't usually carry them that often. But if I am carrying a natural colored knife like this into the wild, then yeah, I put a lanyard on it, because you put it down, you'd be amazed how quickly you can walk a few feet from it and not even see it. So anyway, lanyard's a good idea. When I was testing this knife, it made me think of the Mora. And I think I've seen people compare this knife to the Mora. But the thing is, you can't really do that, because the Mora Eldris has a Scandi grind, and then it goes forward to a compound grind that is more like the Cansbull. But it's nothing like this. And they make a light duty Eldris that is Scandi throughout. Also, doesn't really translate as far as a competitive value to this. The only way that they compare to each other is size. They're both roughly the same size. Well, the other way is their price. They're both about $25. So when you look at this, and I'll be honest, I love Mora. I do. I carry them all the time. Have been carrying them for years. Garberg is one of my favorite knives, hands down. But you got to admit, they're pretty boring. There's not a lot of blade profile. There's not a lot of character there. This knife, with this harpoon style blade and this hollow grind at the bottom with this false edge at the top, is very, very handsome. This is a attractive knife. I think if you took someone who didn't know about, which knife was which, and said, hey, which one of these knives you like the best just on aesthetic value, they would probably choose this knife, because the Eldris is just kind of boring. And this knife stands out as having a lot of character. The Mora is very symmetrical, where this one has this finger groove right here, which is, I like it. I really like it. The Mora has a full 90-degree spine all the way to the tip, and this has just a 90 degrees right here. But I will say this, it'll throw a spark like crazy. I mean, it works really well. I kind of like the fact that it's like that because you're kind of restricted in between here, so your knife doesn't move, perpendicular to the fire steel. It runs straight down the fire steel. I think it's kind of easier to throw a spark in an intentional direction when it is like this. I don't know, it may just be me. Let me know what you think. If you've tried it, do you think that stands true to reason? And the cool thing about this knife is it does come with a fire steel, but it's kind of a necklace. I'm a big fan of Wazoo. My buddies at Wazoo Survival make, I think, the best fire steel necklaces you're going to buy. I wear one everywhere I go. I just love it. Now, Odenwolf gives you sorry about the crumpling there, gives you this, which is nice. It's a little striker with a little ferro rod on it. Got the little Odenwolf logo there. Very cool. I have no doubt that this will work great as far as, throwing a spark. I haven't tried that yet. I think I need to try it, but I have so many of these. I actually make my own fire steel necklaces. I teach some courses and I give them to some people. And I get these bayite off of Amazon. You can get a ton of them. This stuff is pretty neat. I think that costs like $10 for all of those. So if you use them up, they're easy to replace, and you'll chew them up if you use them. And a lot of the ones that I wear, like if I wear out in public, they're not ones that I've really scratched up. I have specific ones that I wear when I go out there. But in a pinch, even the brand new ones will start a fire. It's cool that they give you that ferro rod and striker. That's a cool thing to have with you. And I'm sure that this knife works great with it. I've used it with my, I use a massive fire steel, also from Bayite. It's like 6 inches long, but it'll throw that's like a lifetime of sparks right there. And I started several fires with this knife, and it worked great. Still kind of dirty there. I tried to clean it up, but it did a really good job. This steel is D2 steel, and they say it has a HRC of 60. And throughout the experiment that I was doing with it and the testing I was doing with it, it held up very, very well. The edge is extremely sharp still. I think there's an area right here, if you look real close, that I may have gotten a little too aggressive with. I don't know, we're doing a lot. But it still cuts. I mean, it cuts right through paper, no problem. The steel is amazing. D2 steel, if done right, is fantastic. And these people really know how to do steel. Even working with this one, this is also D2. And it's amazing. Has held up very, very well. The Mora knife is made out of Sandvik stainless that they're famous for. And honestly, I didn't notice any better performance out of it than this. It has that same handle, not the shape, but kind of the design. This is kind of a hard material here. And then there's a softer material around the periphery. This part right here is soft, and this part here has a little bit more aggressive texture. So the combination of those really gives you a confident grip on this knife, no matter how you're holding it. It works extremely well. I really like that soft, not sure what it is, some type of I don't know. They say this is TPE, but these feel very different, these two textures. I'm not sure how they do that. I'm gonna have to look into that and see how that goes down. Anyway, this is not a big knife. You're talking 14 centimeters total. Blade's 5.5, the handle's 8.5. It's a very small knife. It's about the same size as the Mora. If you're familiar with the Mora Eldris, it's about the same size as that. And it performs outstanding. And like I said, $25, the same as Mora knife. So it's really fantastic. One place that it does shine, other than just aesthetic value and performance, is the sheath. The Mora sheath is just a plain sheath. They don't give you anything. There's no belt loop. There's no nothing. If you want it to wear as a neck knife, you have to put your own paracord on there, or you have to buy their little setup that has a paracord string with a retainer for the knife. Even though it fits in the sheath, outstanding. It's not going to come out. And it comes with a little fire steel, but it's a dangle steel. It's not like one of these steels that rides along the string. It's like just dangles there. I had it for a little while and I didn't really care for it, so I changed mine up entirely. But that's another $20 that you have to invest in the Mora if you're going to get all of that. This comes with a fire steel, comes with a striker, and it comes with a sheath that is pretty amazing. This sheath is equipped with a pocket clip, and you can move it around. You can put it at different angles. You could carry it different ways. It's a nice sheath. It's a very nice sheath. That's one thing I've noticed about these knives, and I have a few of them that I need to review, but their sheaths are very well done. I mean, I make my own sheath, and I can say this is well done. This is great. This is a beautiful sheath. And when you put the knife in there, it is not coming out. Not at all. You could throw some paracord on here, carry it as a neck knife. No worries. It is not coming out. And the clip is pretty good. The only complaint that I have for the clip is that the knife handle is so heavy that it will try to tip on you. So that is an issue if you're concerned about that. I did stick it down in my boot thinking maybe it'd be a good boot knife, but it's just so top heavy that it doesn't really ride that well. But it does ride well on a belt or on your pocket, but just be aware that it is top heavy when it's like in this position. All in all, I really like this knife. It only comes in the green. There's another model that I have coming that I'm going to review as well. That's a Scandi grind. Maybe we'll put it up against the Mora because I think it's a better challenger for that situation. But it's a Scandi grind and it comes in black. This one only comes in green. And I've tried to dye these handles before with the RIT dye, and it just never really takes that well. I mean, I did one with the Eldris, and it was pretty neat. The soft part darkened, and the harder part stayed the same color. I think I did it with the light duty one, and it was light gray here and dark gray here, which was a cool color, but it just didn't. I don't think the green would perform very well in a dye situation. Well, that's my take on the Odenwolf W-Mini. I think it's a great little knife. If you're looking into getting it, for sure, get it. I mean, for $25, it is handy. I put it through tests, and I can tell you, it can handle it. It can do whatever you need it to do out there. It's a pretty outstanding value for $25. This is an outstanding value. So, there you go. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you to all my subscribers. I really love you guys. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Now, that's how we as video makers know that we're doing a good job. Because if there's no interest in our videos, and that's kind of what it looks like when there's no subscribers, we just stop making videos. So if you like the videos that you see, support your local creator and like and subscribe their video. Thank you very much. This is 1111 Outdoors. We'll see you out there.